Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, whatever time you're here with us here at the On the Gunline YouTube channel. I appreciate you coming through. My name is D'Lo, also known as D'Lo the Vet Bro, and today I'm going to give you a Vet Bro reaction. So this reaction comes from my endlessly, painstakingly research on what the hell does a vice president do? Because honestly, as a wise woman told me, it seems like they're just a hype man for the president while they're running for that presidency. And other than that, they just co-sign whatever the president says. So with that, the reason I'm bringing this up is because we have the vice president, Kamala Harris, who's running for president right now, but we don't know what her policies are or where she stands on many things or what her outlook for the U.S. is in the next 4 years if she was to get elected. She's ducking any kind of press conference that's out there. So all we can go by is what we know that she hasn't done, which is control the border. Okay, technically, apparently, they want to get all semantical and say she was supposed to find the root causes as to why there's such a migration problem at the border. Well, we'll hear from her own words, okay? We'll hear from her own words. So if this is your first time coming through here, or you've been here multiple times but haven't done so yet, do me a quick favor. The biggest thing you could do for me is subscribe to the channel. That's the biggest thing you could do to help support the channel, is just subscribe. Hit that like button, hit that notification bell to all. Don't leave it on personalized, because then you'll never get any what's the word I'm looking for? You won't get any man, it's still early. I haven't had my coffee, man. You won't get any notification letting you know that I'm dropping a video, whether it's a Vet Bro reaction like this, a word on the streets, or when I go live. The live have become more active now. We're beginning a lot more commentary. So whenever I go live, man, come on down. It's open forum to discuss whatever. No butt hurtness and, thick skin. And I think it's a cool platform, man. So anywho, with that said, I'm rambling on. Let's go ahead and get this video going for y'all. I'm telling you, I've been on YouTube all morning trying to figure out what the hell it is that they do. And eventually one popped up with Mrs. Harris over here. And we're going to go ahead and just react to it. If you're wondering how come I haven't done a Vet Bro reaction to Soldier Heart again, I keep getting hit with a copyright. So unfortunately, those go against me. You know what I'm saying? And I'll see if I can do something about that. But for now, we're going to go just ahead and do a Vet Bro reaction to Miss Kamala Harris. And let's hear in her words. This is titled How Kamala Harris Became the Incredible Disappearing Vice President. All right, let's give you what I like to call a Vet Bro reaction.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
And my phone's ringing. Give me a second. All right, and I am back. That was like a split second for you, but it was about 3 minutes for me. And it is 9:12 in the morning, just so y'all know, here in San Antonio on this 15th day of August 2024. And let me go ahead and give you that Vet Bro reaction.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
We did it, Joe.
Kamala Harris made history as the first woman, first Black American, and first Asian American to become vice president. In some ways, the fanfare around her being sworn in overshadowed Joe Biden taking the oath of office. But after less than a year in the post, she is a historically unpopular VP. Where once she was always in the frame during Joe Biden's major addresses, she has been notably absent from the president's side of late. Her diminished public presence has even prompted one US columnist to nickname her the incredible disappearing vice president. Kamala Harris has an approval rating of 28%, down from 50% when she first took office.
Damn.
It appears to make her the least popular vice president at this stage of an administration in at least 50 years. For context, Mike Pence's approval ratings were above 40% at the same stage of Donald Trump's administration.
Take that into your mind and listen to that. Over 40% at the same time of Trump's administration versus whatever her shit was, 20 something, whatever. Why do they got make Trump? Pence look like he's holding a big ass masa that he needs to let out.
So why is she seen to be doing so badly? Well, there's a feeling she's not delivered on the two biggest tasks that Joe Biden has entrusted her with. First, tackling the root causes of the migrant crisis. Despite a record spike of people coming into the US, she did not go to visit Mexico and Guatemala until June, 6 months after starting the job. During an interview, she gave an incredibly tone-deaf response when asked why she has so far declined to see the conditions on the border firsthand.
This whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
I haven't been to Europe.
Gotcha, bitch.
I don't understand the point that you're making.
And her public comments.
She doesn't understand the point that he's making. The fact that she was tackled with trying to find out what the migrant problem was at the border, and she doesn't know what the point of that was. Let's hear that one more time. All right. I mean, you can't make this shit up.
So far declined to see the conditions on the border firsthand.
This whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
I haven't been to Europe.
That's amazing. You said a whole truckload of words that had no meaning. That's amazing. You said a whole truckload of words that had no meaning.
Got facts.
And I don't understand the point that you're making.
And her public comments once she was finally in Central America surprised many. She had previously called for a more compassionate approach to those arriving at the southern border, but said this.
To folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border, do not come.
I'm coming.
The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border.
That turned out to be a lie.
The second key task she's been given, and one critical to Democrats' electoral hopes, is voting rights. In June, the Senate killed a House-passed voting rights bill. The Democrats lacked the 60 votes to overcome a Republican filibuster. Harris's aides claim she is working hard behind the scenes to deliver the White House's agenda, but without any tangible actions for the public to cling to. Some have questioned how much impact she is having on the issue. She's made very few forays to Capitol Hill to build Republican support for voting legislation. And this highlights another issue for the vice president. Unlike Biden, who spent decades in the Senate, reaching across the aisle as a senator.
That's an issue right there within itself. Decades within the Senate. Can we just go back to giving them some term limits? Congressmen, senators, term limits. Can we do that, please? Of course not, because they would have to vote for it. Are you going to vote yourself out of a job?
Harris only spent a few years in the Senate while busy running for president. It's why some wonder whether she has the experience or the political acumen to secure bipartisan support for crucial legislation. Harris has also faced an exodus of senior staff amid reports of dysfunction within her office. The most recent high-profile departure is Simone Sanders, the vice president's spokesperson and her most prominent public defender. To help her course correct, Harris has since brought in crisis communications veterans to help her define her role and rebrand her public image, as well as her lack of experience in Washington. Harris has come under fire for her lack of visibility. She was a pillar during Biden's early televised speeches, but has often been missing from his side in recent months. That change has led to speculation about their relationship behind closed doors.
Bro, she had that smile like, I don't know. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, she definitely could gobble some nuts. Facts.
Closed doors. Biden and Harris do not have a long political or personal history. In fact, the vice president once blindsided Biden when they were competing for the Democratic nomination.
Go ahead, tell him.
Attacking his position on racial integration programs during a high-profile debate.
It was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country.
White House aides have privately suggested.
and magically she became the nominee for the vice presidency. You know, I know many will point out to JD Vance's dislike President Trump in the beginning of his political career, but I can see that a year, 2 years, 3 years afterwards you can change your mind. But to do it within a couple of fucking weeks, yeah, I don't think so.
That Harris has brought some of the criticism upon herself with clumsy responses during interviews. It has made it difficult, they say, for Biden to jump to her defense when he faces his own political crises. Others argue that the dip in her approval ratings are the natural consequence of the weight of expectation that engulfed her historic nomination. After all, taking on the job of being number 2 can automatically diminish your profile. The polling seems damning, but is all the criticism fair? The White House has blamed sexism and racism for the attacks against Harris.
I do think there has been some attacks that are beyond because of her identity.
Despite the president's spokeswoman issuing...
That's the old homegirl right there, circle back Psaki. But I knew that was going to happen. And during the debates, when they happen between Trump and Harris, you're going to see that anything that he does is going to be either seen as aggressive or misogynistic or patriarchal, something, or racist. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen immediately. I'm calling it now, August 15, 2024. Let's see what happens during debates.
A public defense. Members of Harris's inner circle have also blamed White House aides for her troubles. They argue she is being sidelined rather than positioned effectively by Biden, who knows the challenges of being number 2 better than anyone. They have also been keen to highlight her accomplishments.
I want to show y'all something real quick.
Which they say better than anyone.
You see how Biden is right there? I guarantee you, if that had been Trump, it would have been Photoshop cropped and put something along the lines of Trump is giving the neo-Nazi sign or the Nazi Heil salute. Guarantee you, if that would have been Trump, that's what would have happened. Meanwhile, this guy whose best friend was a fucking Ku Klux Klan leader, no, nothing, no biggie.
They have also been keen to highlight her accomplishments,
even her,
which they say are not always appreciated by a Washington press corps who compare her against her white male predecessors. They point in particular to her efforts to encourage African Americans to get vaccinated against COVID, an achievement they believe has been under-recognized. And despite all the criticism, some say her low profile.
I'm sorry, what did she just say?
Way to strike against. And despite all the criticism, some say her low profile could be a deliberate way to strike a delicate balance. Associating herself too closely with the struggling president could harm her own future plans. But on the other hand, any hint of further political ambition right now could damage her standing with the Biden administration. Has the public lost faith in Kamala Harris?
She's not doing anything that she's supposed to, and she's not supporting the United States, the people, or the president for that matter.
Or is this a brief blip under the crushing weight of expectation around her?
She's worked her way up to get to where she is and give her a chance to do her job.
For now, at least, it seems she is no longer Joe Biden's heir apparent. A number of Democrats seem prepared to challenge her for the nomination should Biden not seek re-election in 2024.
This is funny.
But with 3 years left to reverse course, it is too early to count Harris out.
Wow. This came out, just for context, this came out in, doesn't it tell you what year? 2 years ago. This came out December 2020. Shit. 3 years ago. All right. Damn near 3 years ago, this came out. And they had already named her the heir apparent. And there were supposed to be people that would have gone against her had they had the opportunity to do so. But because, you know what? Let's let them say it again.
Seem prepared to challenge her for the weight of expectation around her.
She's worked her way up to get
Let's
to where
hear this
she
part
is
one more time.
And give her a chance to do her job.
3 years ago.
For now, at least, it seems she is no longer Joe Biden's heir apparent.
That was back then. Oh, okay. She wasn't the heir apparent, but apparently she was supposed to be the heir apparent, which we don't live in a monarchy.
A number of Democrats seem prepared to challenge her for the nomination should Biden not seek re-election in 2020.
Where are they? Where are they now? They know that they don't stand a chance. So everybody has to rally behind this loon over here who is ducking any kind of interviews because of what you saw from the beginning. She cannot answer questions without a teleprompter.
But with 3 years left to reverse course, it is too early to count Harris out.
All right, that's going to be my Vet Bro reaction today, y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Also, whatever you guys put in the comments, I will be also taking it over to tonight's live. I'll be going live tonight at 1700. That's 5 p.m. Central Time, okay? I'm going to try to have Hunt on here with me, who is the left-leaning cohort of mine, I guess you could say, or homie of mine. So maybe we could open some dialogue with that with him. But yeah, what do y'all think? This was from damn near 3 years ago, y'all, and that's what they were saying about her. But now apparently she is ready to tackle the presidency. I don't think she is. A vice president, really, again, I don't know what the hell they do. They don't know what the hell they do. But when they are given tasks that they're supposed to do, it's okay to fumble them. You know what I mean? Again, to me, they're co-signers of whatever the president does. And honestly, the biggest factor for me would have to be Afghanistan in 2021. How we abandoned the Afghan people after being there for 20 years and just left them as if we didn't do anything there, or like as if we didn't spend millions of dollars, billions of dollars, 20 years of heartache, blood, sweat, and tears, the thousands upon thousands of KIA and WIAs. Yeah. So that's where I stand as far as Kamala. She co-signed that shit with Biden, and unfortunately, that's where I stand with them. They can go fuck themselves. Anywho, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Make sure you tap back in here at 1700 or 5 p.m. Central Time today, August 15th, 2024, where we'll dig deeper into what the hell does a vice president do? What is their job? And should they be held accountable for the decisions that the president that they worked under decided to proceed with? Y'all let me know. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all later here, only on the gun line. This has been a Vet Bro reaction, y'all.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
I'll catch y'all later. Deuces.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Damn it. There it is.